Hello and welcome back. The topic for this video now, we're going to talk about another type of virus. We're going to talk about the influenza virus or the flu virus. And that flu virus is part of the Orthomyxoviridae family of viruses. And what you want to know with the flu virus is that you've got three types. You've got type A, type B, type C. Type A is the most common. And when you see things in the news about H1N1, H1N1 is a type A influenza, okay? Type B, less common, and type B only infects humans. So it's a little bit unique as far as the viral structure. It only infects humans. Type A, on the other hand, this one can infect both humans and it can infect some animals. So when you hear about the bird flu or the swine flu, it's most likely type A, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about what makes type A unique here, but type A most common, type B less common, but type B influenza is also part of what's in the flu shot that you get. Type C is not part of the flu shot. Type C, I'm going to go rare, but it's kind of in the less common category. And most often it infects children. The reason that type C influenza is not included in the flu shot is because the symptoms associated with it and the disease process is very, very mild. So it doesn't carry the impact that type A does. With type A, meaning certain people and certain strains of the flu can cause death. Type C won't, okay? So it's a little bit more rare. And with these types of viruses, one of the things that I want you to take away out of this, type A mutates frequently, very frequently, which is why the flu vaccine has to change each year, because there are new strains of influenza A that come out each year. Type B and type C are going to be less likely to mutate. So in the flu vaccine, the CDC year to year uses the same antigen for type B because it doesn't change typically. Type C, again, it doesn't mutate, and it's one of those things when you have it, you get sick, you tend to clear it, you don't get it again because your immune system gets activated, okay? So we've got the three flu types. We've got type A, type B, type C, okay? With the flu virus, the virus itself is an enveloped RNA virus, okay? And I'm going to draw that kind of schematically here. The blue here, this is going to be my envelope. Inside, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got our RNA. And I counted that because with influenza type A and type B, it's an 8-stranded RNA virus. Okay? Again, one of the small details with type C, it's got 7 strands of RNA, which is what makes it a little bit different, okay? So both of them are going to be RNA viruses, okay, as far as their transmission and their genetic material, okay? Associated with the envelope, we've got little tags on the outside, and I'll go orange first. And we'll make the orange circles. This is going to be the H tag. And H stands for hemagglutinin, all right? And what it is, it's a glycoprotein, so it's a sugar and protein on the outside of the cell membrane. This is part of what allows the flu virus entry into your body. And we talked about that in a different video. Then I've got pink there, and we'll make the pink square just so that you can see the difference. And some of my squares aren't squares. Don't make fun of me, all right? The other tag associated with influenza A, okay? I will specify this. The H and the A, these are tags associated with influenza A. Oh, and I made an A. I meant to make this an N because this tag is an N, and the N is for neuraminidase, okay? So when you hear in the news about H1N1, that's where the H and the N come from. It's talking about the tags on the outside of the virus. So with H1N1, it's the first hemagglutinin and the first neuraminidase. The other common strain of the flu that you might have heard about, H3N2, is another one that's been common here recently in the human population. So that's where that comes from. It's talking about the tags that are on the outside of it. And I do want to specify that H1N1 or the H and N only type A flu has that association. Because you don't get the mutation as often with type B and type C, that's why it's not categorized that way, okay? When you hear about H1N1 or whatever number goes along with it in the news, you're talking about type A influenza, all right? And that's the most serious. The reason I want to point these out, some of the treatments for the flu are neuraminidase inhibitors, and I spelled that wrong. So you'll have to forgive me. We'll erase it. Tamiflu is a neuraminidase inhibitor, and what it does it prevents the budding of the enveloped virus off of the cell that it infects, okay? The other type of treatment that can go along with flu, it's another type of antiviral. It's an M2 Proton channel inhibitor. And this one inhibits the replication of the flu virus inside the cell. So if you inhibit either the virus being released from the cell or you inhibit how it replicates, you're going to stop the virus from spreading in cells. That's going to decrease the symptoms and length and severity of the infection associated with it, because by preventing it from budding, by preventing it from replicating, you're giving your immune system a chance to catch up and destroy the virus, get rid of those cells that are infected with the virus. That's how it helps moderate the symptoms. The thing about the inhibitors, though, has to be given early in the infectious process. If you've had the flu for 3 or 4 days already, you're out of luck. You're just going to have to ride the course. It has to be given within a few days of the start of the symptoms. So if you do want to use these options as treatments, you have to go in to urgent care, see your doctor more quickly, okay? With the flu, the big advantage we have as far as really treatment isn't really a treatment, it's a preventative. And that's the flu vaccine. So as future healthcare providers, you are going to want to make sure that you get the flu vaccine every year. Some hospitals, some clinics actually require that you get it as part of your employment there. But the reason that you want to get the flu vaccine is because, one, you're taking care of people, and those people are going to walk in with the flu, and that protects you. The other advantage of the flu vaccine is there are certain portions of the population who can't get the vaccine, either because they're too young, so infants less than 6 months old can't get the flu vaccine, or individuals who have egg allergies because the vaccine is grown in an egg, and sometimes you get little antigens of egg associated with the vaccine. That can trigger anaphylaxis in an individual who's allergic to eggs, so they can't get the flu vaccine. You're relying on herd immunity. So the larger percentage of the population that's vaccinated, you're actually protecting those individuals who are more susceptible, who can't get the vaccine, okay? So keep that in mind. Hopefully that all made sense. If you have any questions, please let me know.